Hello, my name is Anir, and today I will be informing you all about the different kinds of genders that exist in the world. We go from transgender, cisgender, to agender, to non-binary, to female and male. But how many of those did you actually recognize? Many people would only recognize those traditional genders known as female and male. Gender has nothing to do with the genitalia that is in your pants. Instead, it's all about how you feel as a person. And regardless, people are all different, therefore, it shouldn't be two specific genders. It's all in a spectrum. I met a friend in fall of 2019 in the University of Wisconsin Platteville Richland that felt as neither male or female. They felt out of place in society because it was hard for them to fit in and have society understand them for who they were. Almost everyone explores who they are. Daily new characteristics may be discovered or undergo change. We slowly develop and grow over our lifetimes. There are several kinds of genders, and it's been known for years that gender is all in a spectrum. Sex chromosomes come in a variety, and there are different kinds of identities that exist. Gender has a spectrum. It is not limited to two distinctions. A person's gender is complex in a relationship between three dimensions. According to a scholarly source, Interpersonal Context, Stereotype, Acceptance, Gender Role Beliefs, Casual Attributions, and Religiosity as Predictors Individuals, written by Jordan Greenberg. The first would be, our body is an experience of our own. Now society genders our bodies based on how we interact as well as how our bodies look. The second would be our identity, the name we use to convey our genders, based on our deeply held internal sense of self. Identities fall typically into binary, for example, male and female. Non-binary, such as genderqueer, or ungendered, such as agender and genderless categories. The meaning associated with a particular identity can vary among individuals using the same term. A person's gender identity can correspond to or differ from the sex they were ascribed to at birth. The third would be social, how we present our gender in the world, and how individuals, society, cultures, and communities perceive, interact with, and try to shape our gender. Social genders include gender roles and how society uses those to try to enforce conformity to current gender norms, according to an article titled Understanding Gender. Does this mean that they're abnormal? No, they're just like everybody else in the human race. They just tend to perceive themselves as different and feel different. Society makes us think that people only exist in a certain way, rather than knowing that the fact that people come in many shapes, sizes, and genders and beliefs. According to Understanding Gender, social gender includes gender roles and expectations and how society uses those to try to enforce conformity to current gender norms. That being said, society believes that there are only two genders and people should follow the rules of the gender norms. Therefore, a female would be feminine and a male would be masculine and strong and tough. Along with gender coming into a variety, the body consists of many unique sex chromosomes, which means that no one is either 100% male nor are they 100% female. The total of chromosomes that consist in our bodies are 46, that being 23 pairs of chromosomes, and one of those pairs determine our sex. Stated in XX and YY, written by Callaghan Gerald, during fetal development, the appearance for errors and consequences for those errors are as great as they will ever be. That means that when our bodies are being created, of course, it cannot always be perfect. Therefore, our chromosomes might make mistakes, but those mistakes are also very common. Not as common as they are to be regular, but it is common in general. There are many people out there who are intersex, which means they tend to have both sexes, and this is all because of how our chromosomes are put together. We have chromosomes such as XXXY, XXXY, or XXYY, and the list goes on. There is not just XY or XX. If we pay attention to the human body, as women age, they grow more facial hair. And this is due to the fact that they start gaining more testosterone as they grow old. On the male side, they lose facial hair, which then means that they're losing testosterone. But this does not mean that they're either less female or male. It's just the way our bodies work. No sex chromosome is the same. They are created uniquely, which means that any miscommunication between each chromosome can lead to creating people that are outside of the gender norms. In addition to the sex chromosomes, there are many social identities, but many in the United States communities often make associations based on outward physical appearance that suggest either male or female sex of another. Many shopping areas, such as malls, have certain clothes for males and certain clothes for females. That for females, it would be tight leggings and tight shirts to go on a jog, and for guys, it would be loose shorts and loose shirts that they'll wear to go on a regular jog. Furthermore, pronouns are so close and specific to just male and female, those being she, her, hers, or he, him, his. But as time goes by, more pronouns have been in a variety for a person's preference of gender rather than the traditional two used by the normal sex. People may have certain body parts and certain kinds of sex chromosomes that make it clear to society that they belong to a certain gender, but yet people still disagree with these labels. They rather be different because they don't feel as they are labeled by society. There are many people in the world who identify themselves as non-binary, which mean they are neither female or male, or anywhere on the spectrum that currently exists. They are none. These people prefer pronouns as them, they, or theirs rather than having any feminine or masculine identity. A non-binary, for who the person of this speech I will name as JoJo, says that they prefer to be neither because they feel as neither, and we should accept that in society. They mention as well that because they might seem more masculine, they have been accused of trying too hard to be different when in reality that's just how they feel, but they are continuously judged by others. Therefore, we are all different and we all are wanting to be accepted by our society. All in all, gender is in a spectrum. Sex chromosomes vary in the body and there are many existing social identities. This spectrum that has recently been discovered is now being used by many who fell out of the norm, and the world is slowly starting to accept one another. Also, the chromosomes in our body vary and come in many forms that most aren't aware of, so why are we mostly familiar with male and female, and not with all the sexes and genders that exist in the world? And last but not least, a person's genitalia assigned to them at birth does not define them. Anyone can choose to be what they please. It all depends on how the person feels inside. All of our bodies are unique, and we all deserve to feel comfortable in our own skin. Thank you for listening.